Hello, everyone. Welcome to another podcast here. Episode 14 of South African Survivor. Just us two again, unfortunately. But that's okay. I'm sure some people may listen. Maybe. How you been?
I mean, it's we with this podcast we sort of like kind of wing it sometimes. It's like, oh, do you want to? We don't have like schedules fixed. I mean, we
there's no
should,
schedule.
but it's really hard to walk around when we like quite busy. I mean, even with lockdown and stuff, like I'm quite busy.
Yeah,
and
I don't know how in lockdown we can't get our shit together.
Well, I do work, so like as usual. So for me, it's a bit difficult, and then I have to work around with my partner's schedule as well. But I did try to get a special guest, but it didn't work out because he didn't watch these seasons. So oh well.
Well, not much we could do about that. I guess people just will have to deal with us again. Which is
we'll
fine.
hopefully get Kirk. I want to get Kirk back. Maybe finale.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I want to see Kirk back for the finale. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
It'd be like a good way to like round it up. You know, make it finish and make it nice and cool. I guess this episode was to be honest, probably as much it was like semi boring, it was also very shocking.
Yeah, I agree. When I was watching and I was like, and then I was like, oh.
Yeah, the whole time I'm like, surely something happens.
Yeah.
Surely something happens. Surely, no, okay, didn't happen. And
well, before we jump in, to like talk about, like, I feel like a majority of it because there's no twists anymore. So there's no immunity island. There's done. There's no idols. Nothing else. What do you think about stopping all the advantages at Final Six?
I'm surprised things didn't last till Final 5, like normal Survivor, like other Survivors. However, I do like how idols don't guarantee you a spot in the Final 4. Because Final 4 guaranteed is like sort of ridiculous, actually, when you think about it. Like I'm happy with it. It's sort of just getting back to like just normal Survivor essentially without Twistageddon and like, you know, without all these idols or like no immunity island and stuff. So it is good to see. However, I think because we have seen so much in this season, it made this episode sort of feel blah. Like it sort of made it feel a bit lackluster. But I guess at the end we get a really weird result that nobody, like literally, I don't think anyone going into this episode, I thought it was a possibility, but I didn't see it happening just by the edit. But like the edit completely blindsided everyone.
But I also feel like, I mean, when people used to like all those like fireworks and stuff, those who kind of expect things. But sorry, this episode turned out to be a little bit boring. But I feel like it's kind of a testament, like if you separate your good players and bad players, like you don't, if you need something to help you through like these finals episodes, then you're not as a good player as you think you are, because now it's really down to social, like just your connection and how like your threat level, how you position yourself. So in a sense, I do agree with you last episode because you said like Kieran made the wrong move, but essentially he made the wrong move because if he hasn't suggested Nicole, maybe they're not in that situation. Maybe he's still here.
Yeah, so that's what I think. Like, going back on what I said, I guess, from the last episode. Yeah, I can't believe I was actually right about something. I am shocked myself. Everybody's shocked, but no, it sort of makes sense though, right? Why target your alliance when there's another option? Like, especially that close to the end of the game, it just shows your cards a little bit too early.
But so if we going back a little bit, we don't want to dwell too much. But if Santon's going home last episode anyway, just assume that's going to happen. So in this episode, do you think that 4 will stick together and then probably Nicole will go into this episode?
Well, yes. So that's exactly what I think. I think that if Kieran never said Nicole's name, that's when Anala would be like, cool, I'm okay with getting rid of Nicole now. Right? But I really feel like Kieran shot himself in the foot. And that's what I said last episode. Like, that's what I said about last episode. I'm like, because he targeted a person that Anala thinks that they were going to take further, when there was another person on the table they could have got rid of. That's the issue with it. More than like, I understand from like Kieran's point of view, it made sense to go for Nicole, but in the whole like scape of things, right? Your vote is worth so much more now. So much more. Like, especially at this end of the game, you're like 20% of the votes or whatever. Right? So your vote becomes more expensive, which means you shouldn't do the bigger moves right at this point. You should do it like when you need to get rid of this person. They had a solid 3 till the end. Like, and Kieran knew that, but then he took advantage of it by trying to get rid of one of the people's other options.
Can I interject? Sorry. So if we're going by the so what you said, Nicole's going to flip this episode regardless. So she knows she's in the bottom. So she would vote for Chappie. So that thing is down to whether Anella's going to give up Nicole this episode or not. Which, well, he did. He didn't. So in a sense, do you think Kieran's going anywhere without like doing that move? I'm just going back. I'm just capital.
Yeah. So going back to the last episode, he burned Smash, right? And that's why that's from doing that move of like trying to go for Nicole, he's burned Smash in like the social game, right? Because they've said that they're going to take Nicole as far as they can, and when they've gone back on that, he's like, no, I'm not happy with this. And that's when he's decided to then choose his move, like make his move, essentially. Still get completely sidetracked by the 2-2 split, doesn't understand how maths works. Regardless, Smash is angry, so that's why, you know, Hulk, he goes Hulk mode and tries to take out Kieran that episode, and then that doesn't happen. And then that just builds that feud between the two, and that's never going to rebuild in 2 days, especially when they're very, very hungry. So Kieran putting Nicole's name on the table at that travel cancel killed his game. But that's what I think, and I think most people would agree with that.
Yeah, maybe it'd be interesting to find if Smash is still going to be the deciding vote. So it would be interesting to find out Smash would. If next interview, maybe he would tell us a little more whether if Kieran didn't suggest that he would vote up Nicole this episode. But let's go into this episode. So we don't see. Do we have any fallouts apart from?
Well, Tyson gets a bit angry with Nicole for playing the fire idol, because they put him at risk when, you know, they said Nicole's fire idol move was stupid. To be honest, I don't think it was. Like, I feel like regardless, like, her name was on the block from them guys. You play it. I think it's okay to play it. However, like, if it went bad for her and 2 people voted for her, that's the bad part. And to be honest, Santoni and Chappies probably could have thought of that, of her playing it, and then instead of voting Tyson, voting her, and then that's a potential like her getting herself voted out with her own fire idol, because I knew she had it. So I think they could have played it better. However, Tyson was pissed off, and I don't disagree with Tyson. I'd be pissed off too. I nearly went home when I didn't have the most votes. It's a bit unfair. But yeah, I don't know. Like, there's pros and cons with playing it. So it's not a bad move, but it's not a good move.
Yeah.
Plus, we got to see it. We got to see it as a viewer. I loved it.
Yeah. I think it's a good quiz. But do I want to see it in every season? I'm not too sure. And then do we jump straight to the challenge, or is that anything in between? So immunity challenge, pretty much.
This episode is going to be very small. Like, there's not much to say about this episode because
there's a reward though. There's a reward.
Yeah, there's a reward. Yeah.
There's a lot of emphasis.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Oh yeah, with the water. I feel like it's really creative. I think this is really the first time that first time I've seen it, and it's probably a South African sort of challenge. So I'm really happy to see all the international Survivor versions coming up with their own challenge, and not like the US being reusing stuff. Yeah. I like it. It's easy, and it's sort of like a puzzle stuff in there. So yeah, like it.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised there wasn't a puzzle. Like, there was a puzzle element to the buckets, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised there wasn't a puzzle element at the end of it. Like, it was just undo of. undo a key for a flag. I thought there was going to be another element.
I feel like it will be better if they have like chopped the wood and to release the flag. That would be a little bit better instead of opening a key lock.
To be honest, I would like to see Chappies with an axe. So for me, it'd be fine. I'd like to see that. But yeah, like another element of like you said, smashing something down. Like on Strange Survivor recently, they had the sledgehammers. The funniest thing ever. See why you trying to pick up on them. But yeah, that's the only thing I would add to it. I didn't notice the totem poles were quite rickety though. They moved a lot. They went.
But I feel like it's not like structure like for climbing. But I was surprised they actually have to climb because it's kind of like yeah.
It looked very like school made. It didn't look like it was just held together. It wasn't like in the ground like stuck.
I think life rarely games can be used use this because apart from the for climbing up stuff, and maybe we can rework it into more like
I think this challenge you could easily do with like buckets, and then you have a hole in each bucket, and then somebody has to hold it up higher on like a pedestal, and then you just go down and down and down, and you have to have like a running waterfall into something that lifts up a ping pong ball with a key attached, and then you have
maybe like a tribe challenge instead of
like a whole tribe challenge not individual, no. But like that's something that could be introduced into like a live reality game for sure. That challenge is definitely can remake it. I don't know what word I'm trying to think
and to jump forward a little bit, the immunity puzzle as well is a new thing as well. So
yeah, I love that.
We've never seen it before, and it's sort of different puzzle. So
actually, do you know what this puzzle reminded me of? It was very similar to the first reward challenge of Australian Survivor Season 6.
Yeah.
How they had to spell brains and brawn. Yeah. And that it was just a small version of it. To be honest, even that could be made.
It works workable. We don't have to be exactly replica, but
it doesn't have to be perfect looking. It doesn't have to be like as amazing as it did look. But you could easily have like puzzle boards. Just you have to slide into the middle and then turn around, and you could easily remake that too. I think a lot of people are going to get their ideas from a lot of like South African and Australian Survivor games for live reality games because they're actually really cool. Actually, when I was watching it, I'm like, that looks fun. I want to do that.
I already envision we can use the bamboo stick or something like cardboard to like have like a tube, or like even using the toilet roll to like combine and become like a tube.
Maybe a paper towel.
Huh? Yeah, paper towel. Yeah. And then you just cut it in half, and then you can join it together, and then you can just like slide things over. Okay, because we're in live reality games. That's what we talk about in terms of challenges.
Yeah. So
and we're
getting so many ideas. Like we're getting so many ideas for our game. Like we're getting so many ideas. If you are listening, you could probably even jump in and comment if you want about potential like games you could see on a live reality game. But yeah, I do enjoy it. When I seen water though, like at the immunity challenge. Oh, let's go back to the reward first. So he takes Smash, which is the perfect strategic choice because he's a flip-flop vote at the moment. It makes 100% sense. Good
and Nicole's going to vote with him anyway. So
Nicole's going to vote. She's not going to vote with Tyson and Kieran. You know that, right? So she's going to vote with Smash, obviously. And then Chappies are going to join suit. So taking Smash makes sense here, just to make sure they don't have as much time to talk and deliberate as the Shadow. What was it? The Shadow League?
I can't remember.
They call themselves the Shadow League. Shadow League. Yeah. Anyway, the alliance is no longer a thing. So it's perfect choice. The only good gameplay I've seen from Manala this episode is when he decides to tell Chappies that they only had one plate. What's your thoughts on that?
That's good because apparently for everyone that's going to reward, they're not going to get scuba rice or like whatever rice ratio when you come back. So with them lying that they're only sharing one, which means they're allowed to have some rice, which is good because food, as you can see, this episode is a real emphasis on food. how starving they are. So like a little bit goes a long way. So it's a good strategy. Yeah.
No, I like it. I can't. Yeah, it's funny that Anella actually did something. Like I was like, you go Anella. Like I was like, okay, I was like, that's amazing. I'm like, he finally put some strategy in, and like, I feel like this season here, it's probably the most like food talked about in a while. About like the
like they are really starving. You can tell.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because Chappie's is there and he's eating a lot. But yeah, I find it hilarious that like they're complaining about like going a little bit further, but they do complain at the time as well. They're like, Chappie's gets a steak with mashed potato, like it's a whole night meal, then has rice, and then at nighttime cooks some seafood up. He's loaded. Like he's full, he's ready for the next day. And they're complaining about him going to cook the stuff that he caught.
Can I just circle back? I think this is the first time I've seen so many Survivor seasons. I think this is the first time that really emphasizes a player using sort of food to further himself, and again, provided that's actually a good physical challenge player anyway. So he's using his physical part and then using this food as an advantage to fuel himself to go a bit longer. So this is the first time I've seen a player do that, and then it's a good strategy. I would even because I don't really like people winning challenges. I feel like I mean it's part of a strategy, and I feel like sometimes it's like with the season 30 with what's his name, Mike? Yeah, winning immunity challenge, you'd be like, oh. But with Chappie, it's a bit different because he actually utilized his skills, his finding food for himself. So really,
I think the difference as well is like Mike gave off like a villain type sort of vibe, and Chappie's is being like that sort of fun-loving, sort of like laughable person you can laugh with on TV, and like when he's doing stupid stuff, you're sort of laughing at it, you think it's hilarious. So like I think that's sort of some of the reason we're liking Chappie's winning so much, and because Chappie's looks like Chappie's, easy on the eye, we're okay with that. But I love it because you've to reiterate what you said. I've never seen anybody use food on the game like this. Like it's another element that nobody thinks of, right? And Chappie's has gone in there and he's like completely like it sounds mean, but like starved his teammates, starved his tribe mates, so he becomes full, like, and he becomes able to like run like and do everything in these challenges and be able to save himself just from that. It's crazy to think that somebody is that devious to do that, but at the same time is now probably the favorite to win. It's crazy to me. It's hilarious. I love it. I love it so much, and I want to see him back, and I want to see other people do it to him, and then him crack the shits about it. But because that's got to happen. But like, why is nobody else doing it? Like they all know he's doing it, so why not anybody? And this is what annoys me. Like at the tribal councils when they're always complaining about him, and I think it's annoying Nico as well. Is they're just complaining about it. They're not doing anything about it. He even asked them to join him. He's like, you can come with me if you want. And like, no. But why not? Why not join him? He's offering you free food, and you're complaining about not having food. Like, is there like some type of like moral high ground? They're trying to be like, I am too good for this, but like, you're not.
I just feel like, I mean, with the rice, I feel like it's a bit wrong to stealing rice, but I don't think it's wrong to eat what you have catch because that's.
No, he went out. He wasted his own energy for everything he caught.
And then you guys are gonna vote him out anyway, so there's no reason for him to share the food. He's not eating your portion. He's eating his stuff. It's not communal.
I think the rice maybe was a little bit like you said, the rice was maybe a bit overhand. But to be honest, if everyone there doesn't like you, do what you want. That's on them. Like really, that's on them. Like if they're gonna be there, we're voting you out next. I'd be like, cool, no worries. Let me just annoy you for the rest of your game. Like let me make you hungry. Like,
but I feel like in the odd chance you made in the finale, that will hurt you because people will be like, you've been stealing rice, you've been eating. Because when you're starving and then people messing your food and eating way too much than they should, I mean, you will be upset too. Like in this scenario, if I'm starving and you eating my stuff.
Chappie's has it right though. Chappies has it right with taking Smash to the end, like he said. He's like, okay, I'm stealing food, so people are going to be annoyed at that. But they're going to be more annoyed at Smash because he got them out of the game and he fucked their game over. I just ate their food. Like, I did a lot less than what he did to them.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I'm the less hated out of the two. So I'm going to win because of that reason.
But I feel that's why I want to like sort of I agree what you said. Like if you're voting out, then you can mess with food. But I also feel like it is. I mean, not in terms of messing. Like you can eat a little bit more than you should. But then, if in the odd chance you do get to the end, that will come and bite you because people will be like, I don't respect you because you eat a lot and you're stealing food, and that's not on to me. Like we're all starving. So yeah.
But they can't be mad. Like, how much rice did he steal though? Like, to be honest, nobody knows how much rice he stole. Right?
I feel like if you do it every day, that's a lot of rice.
He said he only did it in like little portions. So then, remember his like rice confessional when he's talking about how much rice he took, and he's like, I took like a quarter of a cup every second day.
And they cooked like one cup for like 6 people.
Yeah, he said he used to like cook. What did he say? I cook enough so they don't know that something's missing.
Anyway, let's move forward.
I find it hilarious, and the fact that we're getting the same story like for the past 3 episodes of like Chappie's like secret diner, like it's hilarious. It will go down like literally. This is the one thing I remember about this season is Chappie's secret diner, and then Sanchoni with their idols. That's what I remember about this season, and Kieran the game bot.
Yeah.
But that's what he is now to me.
Yeah,
like after going from this episode, it didn't feel like he tried.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I don't think he tried.
He just gave up.
He could have gone to. I feel like it is limited option. Like there's no like a lot of wiggle room to. But he could have. Maybe he did. That didn't show because.
Why didn't he try to vote out Tyson? Like, throw your friend under the bus. Like, if you're at that point of the game and it's you or your friend, you throw your friend under. Like, I know you lose respect.
It is an unfortunate event that Tyson hurt himself because I feel like
did Tyson hurt himself though?
Maybe.
If Tyson wins this and doesn't take an injury to not get voted out,
if Tyson
that's pretty good.
Yeah,
I would applaud that. But to be honest, would you applaud somebody who's like lying about a sore leg and like, because to be honest, in that challenge he looked completely fine. Do you, like if somebody's lying about that, that's a bit. I think that's worse than food stealing.
Yeah, it is. But I feel
it is, isn't it? That's like that's like fair play. Oh, it's not that bad. But like it's like lying about something that like is like actually could be something wrong with you. Like people are there taking care of you with your sore leg, and you're lying about it, and then you turn around and say you lie about it. I'd find that worse.
I feel like it depends how you use it. Like if you ask people to do your things, like, oh, can you help me do this? I'm just gonna lay down there and not do anything. So that will hurt me if you just tell me you're hurting yourself, but then you don't ask me to do anything else. I think that's fine, but it does. I mean, if you just have to present it well, like it's presented as a game move instead of that you don't manipulate other people to do your things because of that.
Yeah. All right.
Do you want to go straight to the challenge?
Yeah, immunity challenge. So we have it sort of reminds me of when Monica jumps off the box and has like a belly flop moment.
Yeah.
I know this is not Australian Survivor, but like there's like a high jump like that. So we've got they start on a platform, they have to run in the water.
And then swim when it gets deep.
Yep. And then they have to then climb up some boxes. Huge boxes, by the way, like a good like 6-7 meters, which is like 13-14 feet or something like that. Jump off the top of them and grab a key that's dangling out further in front. We see everyone fail besides Smash for the first time. Smash gets it straight away. If somebody told me that Smash was going to be the one that was going to get it first, I'd be a millionaire right now if I put on like Lotto or something. But he's out in front. We see Chappies jump in just after him. And then there's a balance beam.
Yeah.
Where they have to unlock a key.
Yeah.
They have to unlock a key with the key.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Or is
no,
it
I
just
think they have
untie
to
the key?
untie. They have to untie
Untie the
it. So
key,
they have
okay.
two separate keys they need to collect.
Yeah. And then once they get to the end of that, they swim to the platform. And then there's a platform there with the ball challenge.
The puzzle.
That's like the ball puzzle.
Yeah, the ball puzzle.
Yeah, and they have to like spin the wheel, and they have to get the puzzles pieces lined up with each.
Yeah.
There is like an algorithm to do it really quickly.
I think it's a color.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to match the color on the outside, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it actually might be hard when you get down to the end of it, because if you've got like the last row and that's a bit screwed up, you're pretty screwed. You have to go back into another row and get some more colors out and fix it up. I actually think it would take a long time to complete.
Yeah, I think it's quite hard puzzle. Although it looks like
it looks easy, but like
yeah,
it'd be hard.
It is quite hard because you need to
you sort of need to. I think you sort of need to do them all at once.
Yeah, you can't do it one by one.
You can't do one row then the next or the next and the next. I think you need to be like, I think you need to do all the yellows or whatever colors at the bottom first, and then do the reds next. And
no, you have to do the end, because the end ones you have to push it. You have to slide.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure all the ends are lined up, like with the color, and then you go like one
and
like
keep
roll.
going. Yeah.
I mean, instead of column, you have to go by roll.
It was a hard-looking challenge, but this is one of the challenges we probably said you could probably make for an LRG, which is possible, I think.
Also, I was thinking Kieran might, because Kieran is really good. I didn't think Chappies can solve the puzzles.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, oh, Kieran can win this, but that's surprise.
Yeah, surprise. We see Chappies win his 6th straight challenge. So that's two reward challenges and 4 immunities in between all of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Is that a record?
I don't think anyone counts a reward challenge, so I don't know. But I mean, if immunity, I think the record
4 in a row immunity would have to be close to a record.
Yeah. Is it 6 in the US Survivor version? I can't remember.
I know there's 5 in the Australian, and there's a lot more chances of winning it in the Australian one.
Yeah, because it's a longer episode. So because we're double. Yeah, I think we're double.
Yeah, double episodes, and you merge at 13. They do that in America, though, don't they? They merge at 13 in America.
Yes. Yeah. But
maybe
not. I don't know. But we have a lot of non-elimination stuff, so you have to take into account.
Yeah. Anyway, Chappies has won a lot. Chappies is going into the final 4 with a huge immunity streak. An actual alliance, weirdly enough. And yeah, like Smash wants to take Chappies to the end now. This is what I got out of this episode. He wants to take Chappies to the end because he's been a dick to the tribe. That's what I got out of this episode. Is that right to think?
Sorry, Chappie wants. I don't think there's any other. I don't think he wants to go to the end with Tyson, because Chappie, as we mentioned, he has a lot of eating food issues that makes him look bad in front of the jury that you can argue. But Tyson, because I think you said the jury doesn't respect him after the whole thing. But at the end of the day, I do feel like people take more issue with Chappie stealing rice than him acting like a baby in the tribal console. So that's my opinion.
I think certain people will be pissed off with Chappies, like Kieran of Water. Can I say, though, I liked Kieran up until this episode, until he said, I'm going to persuade all of the jury to vote how I want them to vote. I'm sorry, man. Yeah. That shit pisses me off so much. That just I lost all respect for him. Hey, I don't care if he was a good player or not, but you do not influence jury votes. It is not up to you on how somebody votes. If somebody wants to vote based on alphabetic order, let them vote based on alphabetic order, right? If somebody wants to random number draw, let them do that, right? It is not up to you who wins a game.
I strongly agree with you what you said, because everyone measures the game differently. Some people measures loyalty, some people measures gameplay, some people values relationship. So it's really up to the jury to decide. And I don't know how it's going to do it. The one thing is that jury can spread rumors. They can start saying something not true. Yeah. And you can't back it up. So I mean, in a sense, you do have to have really good jury management as well. So that's the big thing. But I feel like morally, I'll feel a bit wrong if a particular person as a jury come in and start shit that doesn't happen and then influence me to vote a different way. Then I'll be really pissed off.
Yeah, there's some rule against talking in Ponderosas, isn't there, about the vote? You're not allowed to do it.
But you can say that. I don't think so, but I don't think you can go to the jury because Chappie's stew all the rice, like he's been eating like a cup of rice every night.
Yeah,
so I can say that, and then people go, oh yeah, that's not good, that's not bad, that's bad, and and then Chappie say you're lazy, blah blah blah, like, and I can say that, and there's no one's gonna back me up. And if you don't have a good relationship with that person, then you'd be like, he said that. So that might influence, he said all this nasty thing. I'm like, I don't want to vote for him to win. So I don't know what extent Kieran's gonna go with this. Is he gonna do a major speech like Spencer did, or like David in Redemption Island, like give a big grand speech, like you guys have to vote with this person. That's only one you can vote.
To be honest, I will probably drown out when he talks because I find it hard to listen to him. I really do.
He sounds a bit robotic sometimes. But...
Yeah, like I don't know. I always like the interesting, fun plays, and when you get like somebody there that's talking like very monotone, and they're just talking like this, and they're saying, "I'm in a really good spot at the moment," and like I've got the numbers. Like I hate when people talk like that with a passion. Like give me fire, give me like they are there on a TV game, like essentially.
One thing we mentioned, we touched on like a little briefly with Kieran doesn't try, but do we have anything to talk about before tribal, or that's pretty much?
No. Unfortunately, it rained for Kieran. Unfortunately, it rained, and they're all just stuck in the shelter together after they had their 2 minutes out on the beach, and they're just literally like, "Yeah, I'm voting for Kieran," and that was literally the conversation.
And Smash's before coming as well. Yeah, I'm voting for you. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, sorry, mate. I got the numbers now. Goodbye, League of Shadows. And to be honest, this is the only episode that Smash has done something interesting.
I wonder if
is it a winner's edit?
No, I wonder if it's Kieran throwing him under the bus in front of jury that makes him want to flip.
Oh yeah, he's still playing emotional. Like you've seen him all game. Like he started arguing with Water and wanted to get Water out next, and started arguing with Santone. He didn't want to work with Santone anymore. Like he argues with everyone, and like there are people on that they will not vote for Smash, right? Water will vote for Smash. Right, Kieran will now probably not vote for Smash. Kieran will vote for Chappies over Smash right now.
I feel like Kieran's gonna dunk and I'll have no chance catching any jury vote because I don't think anyone's gonna vote for him. And
the only person that might vote for Smash might be Amy, Marisha, Nicole.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah, I highly doubt that too. But like, they're the only ones I could see voting for him at the moment. Like, would be the three girls from the old Zamba. I'm confused with who's from where. To be honest, they had like 3 tribe swaps, which maybe one too many. I'm okay with 2 tribe swaps, just not 3. It's too confusing for the viewers. Like, I had no idea who was in any other tribe. Even though they had like the little tribe insignias down the bottom near their names, still confused. But yeah, tribal council. We just see Kieran plead his case again, and then start complaining about Chappie's eating food again, trying to get his point across that Chappie's is big mean boy. He didn't share any food with us. I don't like him anymore. Crying to mum type. That's what it sort of seems like. It seems like they're just crying to like their parents, and their parents are Nico.
Yeah, and I don't see the point because Nicole kind of pointed out like he's eating his own food, and then Kieran's technically saying like, oh, I don't feel like I need to waste that energy because it doesn't make sense because I will spend more energy finding food than eating food. In a way, it does make sense, but then you can't sit there and complain that people do it. Like,
okay, here's my thing, right? So Kieran complains about people going out and getting food, right? And then complaining about that food that they went out and got not being given to him. Right?
No,
does Kieran think he's like a king or something? Like, I'm sorry, but like, does Kieran think he's a king and like people should go work for him and then he should go get food for free? Like, Chappie's earned that food. Chappie's went out and got that food for himself. He should eat it all to himself, and it shouldn't even be a question. And the fact that like he's sitting there complaining about like he wasn't sharing the food and like he was wasting his energy about it, I'm just like, what are you getting? What point? At what point? I don't get it.
I feel like he doesn't mean that. I thought from the whole conversation, I was thinking like he just saying like I don't see the point of getting food because I'm spending more energy trying to find food. But good for Chappie to do that. But I'm not going to do that because it doesn't make sense to me. So I feel like that's the his sort of conversation about. But then I also don't feel like you can't say someone has an advantage because. If you're saying what you're saying, then it means he's in a disadvantage because he spent more energy trying to find food.
Yeah, and just making you look worse because you can't beat him. Like, just like he's actually putting himself at a disadvantage, and he's still beating me. But I'm like, that's what he pretty much said. And his argument made no sense, and I think Nico the whole way in this game has been like, you can do whatever you want out there. I don't care. And then, like, when they come back into... There is a lot of people whinging. I think it's because they're hungry, they're tired, they're wet, they're pissed off that they can't win a challenge and take out Chappies, and then everyone's just cracking it. But Tyson saved Chappies at the start of this merge. All I'm saying. They had opportunities to get rid of Chappies multiple times, and they've just left it way too late.
Yeah. They probably should have get rid of Chappie instead of Nesu. So
yeah, well, to be honest, they shouldn't even got rid of Nesu. Like,
yeah, true.
Nesu and them targeting each other and leaving 2 people there, and that 2 people now have the majority. Like Smash and Nicole for some reason now in the power spot. It always happens. It always happens.
I think Vuna's gonna implode anyway, so like it's good. Do anything else you want to add? Kieran voted out. It was shocking for me.
Yeah.
Both of us are shocking. We didn't expect him going out. He has a winner edit, so South Africa edit is so out of whack.
We're gonna get a Smash win, aren't we?
Okay. Who do you think is gonna win?
Okay, I actually think
hang on. Before that, are we thinking there's a final 2?
Yeah, we think there's a final 2 because it ends up on the 16th, which means there's 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
So final 3 down to final 2. They're not going to have final 3 and do what? Have a whole episode of just like talking for the final tribal? I don't think so.
Yeah. So what are your chances thinking Chappie made it to the final 2?
I think Chappies will make it to the final 3, but I think he might lose the final tribal cancel.
Okay. He will lose the last one, the challenge.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So like
I think it's going to be an endurance challenge, and we've seen one person win an endurance challenge in his final 4, and her name is Nicole. I feel Nicole won the endurance challenge.
Okay. Yep.
She held her leg up. Remember?
Yeah. So Tyson's going next, and then Nicole's gonna win. Tyson's going next. Chappie's going in final 3, and then we have Nicole and.
I can see though. Does this make sense to me? Right? If Tyson is sore, don't you keep him over Nicole? If I'm
it depends who wins. Yeah, I think it depends who wins the final, the next challenge. If Chappie doesn't win it, I feel like Chappie's fine.
I feel like Chappies will. I feel like Chappies will win again, right? And it'll go down to final 3, and then I feel like you sort of take out Nicole then.
Yeah, it really depends. I feel like Tyson has a chance to win more than Nicole, though. So like, you have to really balance.
With a sore leg in an endurance challenge, more than likely going to be the last challenge.
We don't know. Maybe you say he's lying, so we don't know. Do you want to take the chances he might make it to the final 2, or you don't want to take that chance because you can beat? I mean, Chappie can go toe to toe with Nicole in the jury vote, but I don't know with Tyson because Tyson has he has Water and Kieran locked down already, And
well, maybe Chappies will make a truce with Nicole, saying we'll take both each other to the end because there's no way Smash will win this.
Yeah, we don't know. So, are we definitely writing Smash as the final one of the final two?
Yeah, he's definitely a final two person and losing. So whoever's up against Smash in the final will win.
I think win all votes. I don't see a scenario he's gonna get 1 or 2 votes. I hope not, because
to be honest though, Smash has sort of done more than Nicole.
True.
What has Nicole done?
Nicole's gonna get.
But Nicole hasn't pissed off people, so that's probably why she wins, because she hasn't pissed off people.
Yeah, Nicole's gonna. I think it's sort of fit with the whole season because people, all the game players just kill each other, and then they let a person who doesn't participate. Because I think Nicole this episode also in the tribal console she also reiterated like I'm not comfortable with being lying and all these. One of my pillars, they're not equal. Like I did this more than the other things. So is that the winner, like the winner speech, like that define him? Like people will be like, yeah, Nicole doesn't do it and that kind of stuff, but then she got it to the end. And then
out of the final 4 players, Nicole is probably like pissed off the least people.
Yeah.
Right.
And she has all the Zamba members line up to vote anyway. I feel like Marisha,
Amy, Marisha, Sean,
Rainier. That's 4 votes already. So
they already vote for Nicole.
Yeah.
If it's against Smash or Tyson, you have Santoni and you also have Chappies, and probably Anasu.
Yeah.
All voting for Nicole.
Yeah. Nicole's gonna be the first unanimous winner, like
of South Africa.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Did you guys version have? I think remember. Aussie Survivor has Pia. I think she got all the votes. Yeah.
Yeah. Smash might get 1 vote.
From who?
I don't know. I just feel like somebody be like, Nicole doesn't deserve all the votes, so I'm going to give Smash 1. You get them. You get them edgy people. Them edgy people are like, he doesn't deserve them all. You might get 1 person like that, but I don't know who that person in the final.
Maybe like Tyson or Kieran. I don't think Kieran will go for Smash ever. But yeah.
No, I think they lost all respect for Smash once he. I'm sorry, if Smash done that move and we had Santoni, Nicole, we would have actually had Santoni, Chappies, Nicole, and Smash in the final 4.
That would be more interesting. Like fire.
Yeah, that would be like who wins from there, because like there is so many possibilities from that point. It's going to be 2v2 with the vote for sure. Then it goes down to fire making, and then we have like a fire making challenge. Santoni probably wins that, assuming Chappies wins final tribal. So we have final 3 with like Chappies, Santoni, and possibly like Smash. And then we see Chappies win, and we get the dream to. Why did Smash ruin my dream? He ruined my dreams.
Well, can we briefly, before we jump into the kiss, marry, and kill? So, in terms of like who's gonna win, how do you rank each other? Like, how do you rank among the 4 people left? 5?
I feel like if Chappies makes it to the end, he wins.
So
Chappies, Nicole, Tyson, Smash.
Okay.
That's how I would vote.
Okay, 4 people left. Yes.
Yeah, that's how I would vote. I would vote in that order. And I would. Tyson's done a lot, yes, but he's pissed off too many people. Right? Chappies has been like a complete beast in the game. Plus he looks good, so that's why I'd probably vote him first. Shallow, come for me. But then you've also got Nicole, who hasn't really done much, but has also never really been like in trouble with anyone, and has always been like the nice person in the tribe, and people are getting along with her.
Can I? I mean, we don't need to talk about Smash.
I've got a theory though. You know how like way earlier in the game, Santoni said she hated Nicole and she wanted to get Nicole out of the game. Like way earlier.
Yeah.
I'm manifesting Santoni's vote is like the vote that doesn't let Nicole win.
Oh, maybe. But it depends who's the final 2 is, to be honest.
Yeah. Like, is that a possibility? It could be Tyson and Nicole, right? And then it's completely split. I can't see Tyson and Nicole both being the final 2, though. I can't see them taking each other.
No. Can I sort of out of left field question because I know you and I want to give you a scenario. If Nicole and Tyson's in the final two, who would you vote for? Because you rank Nicole above Tyson.
Yeah. Okay. As a player on the game that suffered 40 days of hell, and you had to deal with somebody like Tyson who was very aggressive at some points of the game and people didn't like, I'd possibly choose Nicole from that reason.
Okay, but let's just assume you're part of the Chappie, Santoni, and Josh team. Like you guys are.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing! I want to be as part of that so much.
Okay, just replace Anesu with you. Like you're Anesu.
Okay. That means I had a good relationship with Tyson, right? Because I was a friend.
Okay, don't assume you're Anesu. Like just you part of the of the Vuna tribe, and
Tyson put off some great moves. Don't get me wrong; he put off some really, really good moves. But like, his aggression was bad. Like it was like scarily like I don't want to be around this person. Like he was going to hurt me. Like that's how bad his aggression was, and I'd probably be scared of that out there, especially because like you don't know him, right? You've only been out there together for like 30 days or whatever, and he's becoming really aggressive around you, and like I wouldn't vote for that. Say if he didn't show his aggressive side and he kept continuing to play his big moves and stuff like that, I'd probably vote Tyson. But because he comes off really aggressive, I wouldn't. But I don't know, like Nicole's social game, like as far as like the edit showing, she has like a half decent social game because she's able to talk to around and move around to people. That would possibly I would possibly be more friends with Nicole out there than I would Tyson. I feel like me and Tyson would butt heads personally because we're trying to both succeed at something big.
It's interesting because I think people who would listen to us know that you're that kind of people who are more into anyone that do something you're gonna vote for them. So so for the record, Josh is not that kind of person. Josh also values the social side. And
I do value. Look. I value all parts of the game, right? As a viewer, though, I love seeing big moves. As a viewer, right? And when I watch games, when I watch live reality games and I watch games on TV, I want to go for that person that's like flipping the vote like 2, 2, 3, 4, whatever, like something stupid, something ridiculous, and they've done it all by themselves. I want to go for that person, right? I don't want to go for the person that's sitting there and just making la-di-da friends and talking with everyone because that to me is boring on TV, right? And when I see like a live reality game and it's just this person who's going around being friends with everyone, I find that boring too, yeah? From a viewing point. As a playing point, I'd probably respect that. I think it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain.
So you're saying
like if I was to play, right, again, I would just do moves and stuff because I want to be that person I want to watch. That's what I get at, if that makes sense. I want to rewatch what moves I did, not how many friends I made.
I guess you were saying that as a player, you would vote for a different winner compared to a viewer because you would value relationship and personality if you're a player yourself. Essentially. But like, say for example, right? The only reason I wouldn't vote for Tyson because he came off really aggressive and he came off like really scary, and people were like, "Who's this guy? Get security!" Like. If Tyson didn't do any of that stuff and he was pulling off these big moves, I'd still probably vote for Tyson because he did some big moves and stuff like that. I would never vote for. It's hard to explain, but if somebody's a friend with everyone and still hasn't done anything, then I would consider voting for somebody else. But I feel like Nicole is still done stuff. She did play the Fire Idol.
She played her. She got rid of Santoni, like nobody could ever get rid of.
I mean, she unintentionally get Amy and Rennie voted out, so they are the last couple.
No, but did she unintentionally do that?
No, she is she's.
I don't know. I have big brain hopes for. But I have big brain. She's a big brain, right? She immediately got voted off because she knew she'd be in the center, and then she knew she could just jump to side to pick off whoever she wanted, and then they're now in the final four with both of them still there. I think it was big brain plays.
But if you're saying that means she does something. She did something. She makes sure she was in there.
If she gets to final tribal council and says that, right? You can't say no, you didn't, because she actually did, right? You actually can't say she can own that, and like nobody can say no, that's wrong. Like you can't say it's wrong because it actually happened. So you've got to. She could. I don't agree with lying at Final Tribal Council, but you can bend the truth. Right? She can be like, this happened, but I actually end up forcing that to happen. So that's my move.
Okay. So I think we don't want to delve too much on it. Let's move on to the last section. So let's go with kiss. Who do you want to kiss this episode?
I can't believe I might say this. Smash might get a kiss from me.
Get a kiss for the lying about the food.
For lying about the food. I think that's a great move. Like, you got more food in your tummy. You're making other people starve a little bit more. And like the whole season, we've seen like Paul eat too much sugar cane and everyone crack it because they're hungry. The whole season they've been hungry. The whole season. I think though they may be hungry a lot because they've come out of like a lockdown as well, and then gone into the game when they've been used to eating a lot at home. So it could be like the after effect of like not eating anywhere near as much they were and eating more than what they usually would. But I'd give it to Smash. Give the kiss to Smash this time because he finally pulled off his Kieran move. To be honest, it was a very easy choice, and I don't think he pulled it off. But he'll go into the final tribal council saying he did that.
My kiss goes to Chappie because he proved those people wrong that you can waste that energy to find food and then still win the challenge because I don't find the logic behind it. So good for Chappie to make that happen. Yeah. For my Mary, I'm gonna go. Oh, do you need anything to add?
Chappie's. I'm gonna marry Chappie.
Yep, go.
Yep. Number one, because I feel like the jury may be like getting what he's putting down now.
Yeah, I think so too.
I feel like they're actually being like, oh, okay, I'm getting what he's putting down, and Santoni's there, and you know, she loves it, and Nessu loves Chappies, absolutely adores Chappies, right? And I feel like that's going to rub off a little bit more because Nessu is a very influential person in the jury vote. I feel like a lot of people might look to her because she's very strategic at the vote. So yeah, that's my marry for Chappies, and because who doesn't want to marry Chappies?
I'm going to marry Nicole because I feel like she's the only viable winner at this stage because I can't. If it's a final two, I don't see Chappie making two final two. So she's set up for a really, really left field winner edit because if you think about it, there's a lot of negative edit with Nicole, like with when she's confronting Teresa, like you have to, and even you have to vote for this account, and then with Santoni as well. So it was interesting when I had it to say the least.
Yeah, well, like Nicole, like if you look at the confessional counts, right? They've actually got confessional counts. She has the least in the final 5 confessionals. To have that as a winner is a bit weird, like from an editing standpoint. But like the editing on South Africa has been like so over the place, right? I feel like they just edit per episode to actually what's happening and what moves are happening per episode, more than like focusing on the winner's story.
Yeah, I feel like that's a way better moving forward. I mean, you can put a little bit like teeny bits, like the Easter eggs, but like then you should focus per episode, like what people do, instead of trying to have that big narrative.
Instead of like faking, like you look at Australian Survivor, right? They're faking like a lot of the stories and faking a lot of the narrative on that, right? Where I feel like with the South African game, we're actually getting a lot more of like what's actually happening.
It's staying true what happened in the camp. Like with this US Survivor is the same. Like they build up the winner narrative. Like you don't have to just do per episode. Every episode has their own hero.
Yeah, that's it. And I feel like that's why we got a lot of Santoni content because she was at nearly every tribal council from the start. The same as Chappie's, we're getting a lot of his content because he was at a lot of tribal councils. And yeah, that's why we're not getting much Nicole, because Nicole didn't actually go to many tribals before the actual merge. And then she was able to just like sit behind and let everybody kill each other off. And then she was just able to stay. But yeah, Nicole's a good choice to marry. She makes it to the final 2 with Tyson or Smash. I feel like she wins.
Kill.
Kieran.
For not trying and
For not trying.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
complaining. For complaining about everything. Like complaining about food when like he could have went out and got food and tried to make up some weird calorie. It burns more calories off than catching crabs. But don't complain about your being hungry then. Like if you're going to complain about that side of things, well then don't complain at all. Like you're just complaining to complain because you're going home. Like it's such a salty way to leave. Just be gracious in your leave. Be like, thanks for the game, guys. I had a really good time. Blah 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 blah. And people like, as a viewer, I would respect that more. But like Kieran at the end of last episode blew up, and he just blew up his game. That's essentially what got me annoyed.
I feel like Kieran just going downhill. Like you mentioned last week, his attitude just went downhill real quick because this episode he came off doesn't look as great as he used to be. Like in the previous sort of episodes, he's always cool, calm, and collected, but now he just descended into something that we don't even recognize anymore. And he doesn't try like. I don't. So maybe in the way like he's not as a good player as we think. Like we always thought he's behind the scenes pulling strings, but like and he played beautifully as a minority in pre-match. But then I think he also catch a good break with like winning challenges and stuff. But now that when he's in the minority, he doesn't have any moves left. So
yeah,
he's not as good player as we think.
I think like we see. The good thing about this season, and this is why I think this season's even better now with Kieran not winning, essentially is because it's so unpredictable. Like, if you were to watch this season from the start and had no idea what happens, you would have no idea who wins. Like, you couldn't pick it at all. Like, I can't even pick it now when, like, it looks like Chappies is going to win, but because he's getting his cool edit. But it's possible that he doesn't, because he loses the challenge, he's gone. And that's just become his game now. It's became his game since like the final 7. If you lose, you're going home. But yeah, and Smash has sort of just been like the person that makes the dumb moves but could eventually win. I couldn't imagine Smash winning, but at the same time,
don't put it out there.
The season could end up like that. It'd be so weird. It'd be like such a weird ending. But like. I'd sort of be living for it, low key. I'd be mad, but at the same time, I'd be like, "That's hilarious." Like,
I mean, we already had Tom, so we don't need another.
Yeah. Look, yeah.
I think that's it for this week. Hopefully next week, we thought it was gonna be fun finale, but apparently not. So hopefully we can score some new guests, or I'll keep in touch. Next week we'll probably not doing it at the same time, but we probably do.
It'll be sometime, yeah.
Yeah, but Friday night, but a bit later.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. Nothing else is happening in the world of Survivor.
Josh, I do have to say, even though like we're struggling to do a podcast every week, coming to like we have like 2 weeks left, so I feel like maybe we don't. I don't know when people are gonna see us again. Hopefully soon, but
yeah, like we won't recap it American Survivor. I'm not ready.
No, we're not doing.
I'm not emotionally ready for that. But I guess you'll probably see us again when we do some stuff with Backyard and Canberra Survivor.
We can also need to talk about the build a
builder LRG. Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting a bunch
also
of
fun note to everyone. I'm not sure whether we can say this, but the Australian version of live Birdie games do band together, like the creator Backyard, Carl and Brian, Melbourne with Liz and being the creator and us being co-producer, and then Dan and Olivia and the Camera Survivor. We did set up a webpage that will be a sort of a combination of every live Birdie games that we're going to promote there before the trials and stuff. So if you're just you just search Australia library games.
Reality games, yeah.
You can find us there, and that will be a source if you just if anything news or anything.
Essentially, essentially it's a live reality games page just for Australians. Just so we're not trying to take away from this page. The whole idea of it is so that we can like post our Australian stuff on there, so it doesn't get like lost in between the American stuff, because there's a lot of American stuff and not much Australian stuff. So that's the whole idea of it. So it doesn't get lost within the American world, essentially. But we will post on both, so don't stress. You'll have it on live reality games as well.
Hopefully, and hopefully you guys
it's just easier for Australians to contact.
Yes, because people want to apply and play, and then you have to. That's like centralized, like all the content and all the stuff. Everyone's gonna post in their respective Facebook page, but that is like it will be like repost in the
correct. Yeah, essentially it's a share page.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. And hopefully we can get together again and talk about the new Canberra or Backyard. Will be they are the more likely to come up. Then
look, Melbourne Survivor, it's going to happen. It will happen. When we look, I should be using this lockdown a bit more to my advantage, and I think we all should be to push across these seasons to get them out, so we can actually start watching some more games, because isn't that exciting? I think like watching your friends and stuff play is like cool. So
okay. Before I think that's it. Before we go, Canberra Survivor still you can still apply for Canberra Survivor.
No, they just ended.
They just ended. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. It's all like
they ended their applications for seasons 2 yesterday, I think.
Okay. It's called The Ultimate Sacrifice. I'm not sure what it is.
I'm going to speculate that somebody can vote themselves out of the game for a chance to come back to compete in something.
Like maybe the final 5. Otherwise, I don't see I don't see the benefit.
That's my speculation. It's like a speculation of like the ultimate sacrifice is literally to get rid of yourself out of the game. Right, so the idea is, I'm assuming, to take yourself out of the game to receive an idol or some huge advantage, but you have to win the challenge to come back in the game. Something like that.
Okay. We can talk more when the season will come out, and then we can speculate a little bit more. I think that's it.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.